Hi everyone, Amy here. Today is Monday, so it's another one of my Manuscript Mondays, which is where I talk about what happened last week while I was writing and all that nice craziness. This is for the Deafening Silence. This is the next installment of it. So with all of my books, what I like to do is to research, and I always think personally, like when I read a book, even if it's a fiction book, I always want to learn something new. So with this book, a lot of it deals with the, Aki is a quarter Korean, and he knows Korean, and his grandfather was a prisoner of war from Korea, and then the Japanese took him to act as slave labor and moved him to Japan, where he stayed because he married a geisha. And it was really fun, and all that stuff. But that's his backstory, which I think I hint at a lot. I think we really only talked about his grandfather more so. So Aki is fluent in Korean. He was raised by his grandparents for most of his life. When he was 14, that's when his mother took him, and wasn't very good because his mother was an alcoholic and didn't take care of him at all, really. That's why you join the mob. I mean, I feel like I write these tragic characters and they have these horrible backstories, but I'm just they're all end up in the mob. So you had a good life, you usually don't join the mob. So tragic backstory, yes. But so Aki hasn't really thought of quite a good amount about his Korean quarter that he is and all that stuff, because he's been mostly he's been in Japan and he's been dealing with Japanese school systems and all this stuff, even though his grandfather would take him to the ear mound and stuff like that. So he has this kind of I might be a quarter Korean, but you don't talk about it, which is what they really don't do in the mafia. A lot of the people in the Yakuza aren't 100% Japanese, but they kind of just sweep that under the rug because, they're kind of like that. They're kind of racist. Yeah. So when Aki goes into the Korean mob and he has to kind of re-get a bit of his Korean, he has to try to remember all the Korean, and he has a hard time they say his accent sounds funny because he sounds like this mix between an old man and the latest pop song, because he spent all night at a Korean cafe playing pop music just to in his mind that would help him get better at it. But a lot of it is kind of dealing with this side of himself he hasn't dealt with before. He's really never psychoanalyzed that he is a quarter Korean, and what does that mean? Especially in this, while they go up against the Korean mafia with Kyoto and the Yakuza and all kinds of craziness. So I am researching a lot about the Japanese imperialistic role and occupation of Korea, which I didn't know quite a lot about. I knew there's a lot of comfort women used for sex slaves, basically, and horrible stuff. So I did a little bit of research. I learned a tiny bit about Nanking, which is the Manchuria side of the war, World War II, that happened, and oh my. So I got some books to read, but I'm here to say, hey, if you have any recommendations for me, that would be awesome, especially direct sources. I know they're kind of running out, but if you know of a book that happened with that. I mean, when Japan occupied Korea, they made people change their names and try to erase all of Korean culture. They wouldn't let them speak Korean anymore. So it's very devastating, and I think that's a lot in Western, in the US, we don't focus on that side of the war. I think we always just focus on Germany, and then we're oh, Japan, we bombed them, horrible, which is very true. That was horrible, but there's not and also Japan did some bad stuff. There's lots of ugh. So if you have a recommendation for books like that'd be fun, or any fiction or non-fiction books about biracial children or mixed race children, kind of talking about their identities, or adults too, that would be fun to read and get some research about. That was mostly The big deal that I did for the Deafening Science this week was spending time researching, because I like to get things accurate and right, and I know you guys appreciate my novels that are very accurate and very, you feel like you're there and just getting and diving super deep into the characters, and you're not just getting kind of surface level stuff with them. So I hope you enjoy this and give me recommendations, because I really want them. I've been asking all over the place, so recommendations, yes. But that was it, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful week. What has been going on with you? So then, until next time, bye bye.